Most stories don't stall because nothing is happening. They stall because the wrong decision is being made, or no decision at all. What was the last big decision you made? A career change? Moving to a new city? Asking your significant other to marry you? All of these are considered major life changes. They should require thought, weighing the pros and cons, and then making a choice. Your protagonist isn't stuck in the story. They're stuck at a decision they haven't made yet. And today, we're going to help them make it. Hello, fiction babes and storytellers. Welcome to Habits of a Writer, the podcast where we talk about the good habits that lead to a finished manuscript. I'm your host, Portia Levette, novelist, indie author of two published novels, and currently sending the next one off to my alpha readers. A passive protagonist is a boring character. The protagonist has one main job: move the plot forward. The joke asks the same question: why did the chicken cross the road? The punchline has been built on over the years as far as the reason, but the destination is always the same: to get to the other side. The chicken, the protagonist in this story, moves towards the destination. They have made a decision, and the answer is yes. I'm 70 pages into a story, and I realize that my protagonist is making decisions, but they're avoiding the one that would change everything. Just as I said in episode 7, your protagonist can't be braver than you are willing to be. If the kids in the Goonies didn't say yes to following Mikey, there's no adventure. Just a group of kids packing up their lives, moving away, and the rich people getting a new golf course. No one would want to watch that. Life is about the brave decisions we make. Whether we make them from failure or from promotion, the idea is to move forward. As writers, we have to be willing to put our protagonist's life on the line. Are the stakes clear in your story? Do you understand what your protagonist is up against? In my story, I know my main character does not want to see his family and friends die. He doesn't want to lose his home. What I forgot to do was ask why. That's because it seemed obvious at the time. However, losing his home isn't the real fear. The real question is, what does losing his home mean? My character is willing to sacrifice his childhood to not only fight a war, but to lead it. What type of person does that? If I'm asking, then it means I haven't done the work before I started writing. If you go back and read your unfinished manuscript, take a look at your character's motives. Could you clearly explain them to someone if they asked? And when you think about where you left off, are the obstacles your protagonist is facing actually of their own making? Knowing that Katniss was a provider and protector after the death of her father, then you will understand why she chose to take her sister's place. That decision wasn't random. It was inevitable because of who Katniss already was. And Susan Collins had to know this. As writers, we can be the reason your protagonist is not making the hard decisions. So let me ask you something, honestly. Is your character avoiding the decision, or are you? In my story, my protagonist fears he is in over his head, and that's what's going to get his friends killed. I have to ask if it's because he's a teenager or because the mom in me is keeping him protected. If you're facing the same dilemma, I offer you to make a pros and cons list. What happens if they say yes? And what happens if they say no? Is there a better transformation on the other side of that no? Will you still be on track to the ending? If your midpoint feels weak, it's not because nothing is happening. It's because the decision isn't strong enough. Instead of forcing what happens next, ask, why does it even matter? And why do I want the reader to care? Plotting from the middle is like sitting down with an old friend. You're not just catching up, you're trying to understand who they really are. Going deeper means finding out more about their beliefs, fears, and what they're willing to sacrifice. It's not broken, it requires more plotting, going deeper, and staying a little longer. This week's habit: ask better questions about your story. Starting from the point you're at now, Try these three questions. What obstacle is the protagonist facing? Why does their choice matter? And how does their choice move the story forward? What vital decisions are you, the author, not allowing them to make? Remember, it's the decision that the protagonist is stuck on that has your middle stalled. Make the decision, make it quickly, then move forward. Hey, if you're new here and looking for tips on writing, creating a sustainable writing life, and talking all things writing, then I'm so glad we found each other. This is part two of Plotting from the Middle, where we are exploring finishing manuscripts we put away. I'll be here every Tuesday with a new episode, so be sure to follow or subscribe so you don't miss out. And if you found encouragement from this episode, be sure to share it with another writer friend so they'll be encouraged also. Until next time, happy writing, my friends. Again, my name is Portia Lee Vett, and this is Habits of a Writer.